We know Guo Wenmin, the spokesperson of the third annual session of the 13th CPPCC National Committee, will brief journalists on the session and take questions this afternoon. We know the agenda for this year's CPPCC session, for example, on the government work report and the draft civil code. When this is the first codified law in China, it's an encyclopedia of the people's lives containing over 1,200 articles. Is the most important law covering the private sector. So far, we know the CPPCC has received more than 400 proposals regarding epidemic prevention and control work. They involve strengthening the rule of law for public health, the public health emergency management system, and strengthening medic training, infectious diseases, and more. There are also proposals focusing on migrant workers and the new infrastructure. We know China has over 300 million migrant workers, half of whom are in their 30s and 40s. Due to the impact of the pandemic on the economy, some of them are unemployed or have to constantly look for new jobs. So the proposals suggested that conducting e-commerce training in rural areas and arranging school enrollment for their children in the city. Earlier, we spoke to some members of the CPPCC and NBC. Take a listen to their expectations.
Since we have to come back, we have to reopen everything, and we have to cover what we have lost. And during the two sessions, we will discuss all these issues and to make everything coming back and to decide what is the most important things to do this year.
Given that the epidemic has been largely contained within China, I'm looking forward to discussions on how the country plans to get its economy back on track.
Of course, policy-wise, the expectation for the two sessions, I think economic policies, the supporting policies will be the main topic of the two sessions because we lost 1 quarter plus part of April, and we need the second half of the year to come back to compensate what we lost in quarter one.
The United States has imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, which poses a major challenge to China's export-oriented enterprises. These factors against globalization have created new barriers and obstacles to global trade, and such measures have become more extreme because of the epidemic. So how does China respond to this?
I work in the pharmaceutical innovation industry. The epidemic shows the importance of public health and the prevention and control of major diseases. People's health problems directly affect our economy development and our international status and influence. So I look forward to a better environment for pharmaceutical innovation.
What we will focus on is how to use new information technology to enable other industries to have better development, especially in the real economy, the public health sector, and all others related to people's livelihoods.
In order to have a sincere relationship, people across the Taiwan Straits need a lot of cultural communication. We propose establishing a platform for better interaction in this regard and forming a new mechanism.
All right, thank you very much.
I agree with what... Sorry, I just want to say that I agree with what one of the experts said. Since the outbreak of the COVID-19, technologies such as 5G, AI, and big data have played an enormous role. Now we see the digital economy sort of accelerated during the past few months. It stabilizes investment and create more jobs. So what more will come in terms of the 5G application? We look forward to hearing more from this afternoon.